History is not written by the honest. It is written by those who understood one timeless truth. Control is not taken by force, it is taken through belief. This is not a new concept, it is ancient, and no thinker captured it with more clarity than Niccolò Machiavelli. He did not write for the people, he wrote for princes, for rulers, for those who would shape kingdoms, not submit to them. And his message was clear. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. In his cold brilliance, Machiavelli unlocked the game that few dare to admit still governs our world. Power belongs to those who understand perception, and those who understand perception rule. The modern world has softened its language, but not its methods. Tyranny no longer wears a crown, it wears a suit. It smiles in press conferences. It tweets with hashtags and sells you lies wrapped in unity and virtue. But beneath the branding, the tools remain unchanged. And the masses? They do not rebel, they conform. Not because they are weak, but because they are convinced. Convinced of what? That the people in power are protecting them. That the system is working. That the only enemy is the one pointed out to them. These beliefs are not truths, they are engineered myths. Lie 1. It's for your safety. The lie that has launched 1,000 policies. Every war, every surveillance program, every civil liberty erased, all justified with these 4 words. It is a masterstroke of manipulation. Why? Because fear overrides logic. Fear makes people forget their rights. It makes them trade freedom for the illusion of security. And once fear grips the heart, control of the mind follows. This is not conspiracy. It is strategy. When a crisis arises, real or fabricated, the leader becomes the savior. Emergency measures are introduced. Freedoms are temporarily suspended, and the people cheer. They comply. They even police each other, ensuring that everyone is equally enslaved under the banner of collective good. But the emergency never ends. The powers given are never returned, and the people, now accustomed to their own submission, begin to believe it is normal. Machiavelli would understand perfectly. He wrote, "A wise ruler should understand that sometimes, to preserve the state, deception is not only necessary but virtuous. That deception today is called policy. That control is sold as protection, and the people still sleep." Lie 2. We're all in this together. Unity is a powerful drug. It sedates rebellion. It manufactures consent. When leaders face scrutiny, they invoke the image of collective struggle. We are all suffering. We are all sacrificing. We are united. But behind the curtain, there is no unity. There is hierarchy. The rich get richer during every crisis. The elites are protected. The insiders get early warnings, special access, and golden parachutes. Meanwhile, the people, the believers in this great illusion, tighten their belts and applaud their own misery. It is theater. The ruler dons the attire of the worker. The celebrity shares emotional posts. The news anchor cries on screen. But it is all performance. And it works because the masses need to believe they are seen. They crave the idea that the powerful suffer alongside them. But the powerful do not suffer. They adapt. They profit. Machiavelli knew better than to pretend otherwise. He warned that leaders must appear virtuous, but act according to necessity. So long as people believe their pain is shared, they won't question its origin. They'll blame each other. They'll blame circumstances, but never the architects of their suffering. This is not leadership. It is illusion. And it's working. Modern systems of control no longer rely on overt oppression. They rely on participation. Not genuine influence, but the appearance of it. You are given the tools to express yourself, to vote, to protest. You are told your opinion matters, but in reality, these gestures are containment, not empowerment. This is how the new regime keeps order, not with brutality, but with performance. Let's break the mask. Lie 3, your voice matters. Democracy, as sold to the masses, promises that each voice contributes to change, that each opinion shapes policy, that each citizen has a say. It is a noble idea, but it is also a lie. Your voice only matters when it aligns with what is already permitted, when it conforms, when it reinforces the structure. The moment it challenges, it is dismissed, marginalized, flagged, shadow-banned, deplatformed, ridiculed. Modern rulers are not fools. They do not silence everyone. That would cause revolt. Instead, they let you scream in controlled spaces. You can argue online. You can vote every few years. You can sign petitions. But the results are already predetermined. The system absorbs your dissent and recycles it into data. This is why nothing changes. No matter how many people protest, the same policies return, the same actors remain in power, the same agendas advance. Machiavelli warned that appearances are more valuable than substance, and the illusion of participation is the greatest appearance of all. It convinces the people that they are sovereign while keeping them subservient. This is not freedom, it is feedback, and the system thanks you for your cooperation. Lie 4, the enemy is out there. The surest way to maintain power is to redirect public anger away from the throne. Every age has its scapegoat. Communists, immigrants, terrorists, viruses, misinformation. The ruler points to a threat and declares, "That is the danger." And the people, eager to protect their tribe, comply. They channel their anger outward, never upward. This tactic is not accidental. It is foundational. Division is not a symptom of control. It is a tool of control. Machiavelli advised that a ruler should create enemies if none exist. Conflict unites the masses. Fear grants the ruler extraordinary power, and suspicion of each other keeps the population from suspecting him. In the modern age, this tactic has only evolved. Now, we are not just told who to fear. We are encouraged to fear each other. Neighbors become threats. Friends become informants. Political opponents become traitors. While the people fight each other in the streets, in comment sections, on television, the ones pulling the strings are untouched. The elite escape scrutiny while the public rips itself apart. The greatest rulers know this. You do not need to control people if you can keep them distracted. And nothing distracts better than an enemy you can never fully defeat. What happens next is predictable. The population begins to police itself. They report each other, censor each other, shame each other. The ruler smiles, because now the cage has no visible bars. It does not need to. The fear does the work for him. Control, at its highest level, is not maintained through oppression. It is maintained through loyalty. Not the kind born of love or respect, but the kind engineered through illusion. A leader who can secure emotional loyalty never needs physical enforcement. The people will guard their own cage. They will mock those who question it. They will defend the very structures that exploit them. How is this loyalty produced? With carefully measured lies. Lies that comfort. Lies that shield the truth from those too afraid to confront it. Lies that replace freedom with faith in false authority. Let's expose 2 more. Lie 5. You can trust us. Trust is not a request. It is a construct. To maintain control over a population, rulers do not simply demand obedience. They must manufacture credibility. This is not done through truth, it is done through performance. A politician admits to a minor mistake on television. A company issues a public apology for a scandal. A leader says, "We didn't get it right, but we're working on it." This is not vulnerability, it is strategy. The admission is selective. The transparency is partial. The sincerity is scripted. But to the untrained mind, it feels real. It feels human. And in that feeling, trust is born. What happens next is even more dangerous. The people begin to defend their rulers. They rationalize abuses. They explain away corruption. They absorb the narrative and repeat it until it becomes a part of their identity. This is not trust based on facts. It is trust based on comfort. Machiavelli warned of this dynamic. He wrote that a ruler must appear trustworthy even when he is not, because the appearance of character is more important than character itself. The modern leader has refined this into an art: public relations, crisis communication, carefully framed transparency. These are not signs of openness, they are weapons of control. And when you finally begin to doubt, when the cracks appear, when the inconsistencies rise to the surface, you will hear this phrase echo in your mind: "You can trust us." And if you're not vigilant, you'll believe it again. Lie 6. There is no alternative. This is the final lie, the one that neutralizes even the most rebellious spirit. When a system fears dissent, it does not crush the people immediately. It whispers to them. It says, "This is the best we can do." It says, "Yes, the system is flawed, but at least it's better than chaos." It says, "Every other idea has been tried and failed." It says, "Change is dangerous. Stability is mature. Revolution is childish." And slowly, the people stop imagining. They stop dreaming. They stop questioning. They settle. This lie is not shouted. It is repeated in subtle ways, through news stories, through economic forecasts, through every failed attempt at reform. The message is always the same: there is nothing better than this. But this is not maturity. This is despair. Machiavelli knew that the most effective control is not physical, it is mental. If the mind believes there are no exits, it will stop looking for doors. And when people stop believing in alternatives, they will defend the very system that traps them. They will say, "Yes, it's broken, but it's all we've got." They will say, "Change is too risky." They will say, "This is just how the world works." And with those words, the lie becomes prophecy. The cage becomes home, and the prisoner becomes its protector. But remember this: every great transformation began with one mind refusing to accept what was handed to it, refusing to believe the lie that nothing else is possible. Control is not complete until the imagination is dead. The rulers know this. Do you? By now you've seen the lies clearly. They are not random. They are not mistakes. They are deliberate tools in a system built to pacify thought, crush dissent, and maintain control without ever raising a sword. This is not chaos. It is precision. These 6 lies are not spoken to inform. They are spoken to program. It is no longer about chains. It is about beliefs. Because when a mind is enslaved, no bars are needed. The body follows the convictions implanted within it. A man convinced he is free will never resist. A woman convinced she is safe will never run. And a people convinced there is no alternative will never imagine one. This is not paranoia. It is pattern. You see it now. So the question becomes, what do you do with this knowledge? The path to sovereignty begins with seeing. The first rebellion is not action. It is perception. It is the moment when you stop nodding to the lie, when you stop swallowing the script, when you begin to look directly at the architecture of deception and call it by its name. At first, it feels isolating. You speak and others dismiss you. You question and others defend the system. You refuse and others call you dangerous. Let them. The point is not to be accepted by the asleep. The point is to remain awake. The masses will always prefer comfort over truth. That is why the masses are ruled. But you were not born to be ruled. You were born to see. The mind that cannot be manipulated is the first seed of revolution. A revolution not of riots, but of clarity. Not of destruction, but of discernment. The world does not need more noise. It needs more sharp minds. Minds that do not react, they calculate. Minds that do not shout, they speak with precision. Minds that do not beg for inclusion, they move with autonomy. Decode every lie and you break the spell. When they say it's for your safety, look behind the curtain. Ask who profits from your fear. When they say, we're all in this together, follow the trail of power. Unity without equality is manipulation. When they say, your voice matters, look at the results, not the performance. If your speech changes nothing, it is decoration, not influence. When they name the enemy, examine what they want you to ignore. The greatest threats are often invisible and often internal. When they ask for your trust, demand full truth, not curated confession. Trust is earned through transparency, not performance. When they say, there is no alternative, become one. Because someone always has to be the first to imagine something different. That someone might be you. You were never powerless. You were just distracted. Machiavelli did not glorify lies. He explained how they work. He exposed the machinery behind the performance. He did not write to create tyrants. He wrote so that the aware could understand them, outthink them, and, if necessary, dismantle them. To see the strategy is to weaken its hold. You do not need to be the loudest in the room. You do not need to wear the crown. But you must master your own mind, because a sovereign mind cannot be colonized. Let the others chase comfort. Let them worship the system. Let them believe the headlines. You will build in silence. You will move with precision. You will observe without being absorbed. And when the moment comes, you will act. Not from impulse, but from clarity. Not to be seen, but to change the direction of what is seen. This is not about leading the masses. It is about never becoming one of them. You are not the pawn. You are the player. You are not the subject. You are the strategist. You are not the product of the lie. You are the end of it.